are 572-0383 and 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X, and also on DBS Television. Welcome to one and all. And let me say a big, hearty welcome back to the beautiful, the lovely Keena. Keena, welcome back. I miss your beautiful smile.
Thank you, Andre. You seem like you see a ghost or something.
Yes.
Really?
I didn't think I'd see you so soon.
The ghost is back. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. It's good to be back right here on Rev-Up St. Lucia.
You're also, you're Solia, Keena. You're a real Solia. Bravo.
Thanks.
Bravo.
It feels good to be
you.
back. I'm finally out of bed today.
Yes.
But I've been in bed every single day since I was home.
By yourself, I hope?
Excuse me, what kind of question is that? Of course it's by myself. Are you really serious about that right now?
Yes.
Oh, my word.
We'll get back to you in a second. Let's say good morning to co-host number 2, Tony Paul. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Keena. The awesome threesome is back. Back together again. And welcome to those of you who are checking us out on Facebook, on X, and also on YouTube as well. And DBS Television, we welcome you. Woo, it feels good.
Yeah. How was your weekend, Tony?
My weekend was smashing.
Yeah.
Was it?
What
did you do?
It was smashing.
Do tell.
You went back to the usual?
Just about, yes.
You did?
Just about, yes.
You look so refreshed. What happened?
I feel good.
Yeah. No, but your face has that glow and everything.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Oh, thank God.
Doesn't it?
Well,
He knows me better.
Yeah. Just last week, somebody made that comment about him.
Yeah, he does have a glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that he doesn't have a glow usually, but that shine. You remember back in the day, our parents would oil us down with maybe cocoa butter or something. It was that morning ritual before school, that oil down cocoa butter or Vaseline or something.
Or lard. You're smelling a lard. Yeah, man. Okay, well, yes, the weekend, the tents. I caught both of them.
You actually attended, or?
I attended, yes.
Okay,
yes,
nice.
I attended both of them,
nice.
Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I could not go to the ultimate soca tent, because that one was held at the pavilion at Rodney Bay.
Okay.
So I am wondering how that went. But yes, so the two other tents, I attended them both.
That was KPT on Friday, right? You betcha. And
KPT
Saturday was which again?
Saturday was what?
TOT Village. Yeah.
I saw some highlights from the what happened at the tent or at the pavilion. The people seem to have enjoyed themselves.
All right.
Actually. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, when Ricky T takes to the stage, Ezra the Fun Machine. There was this little girl too. Not quite sure how old she is, but oh my God, she had so much energy. I saw it on NGM Events Instagram page, and she just brought the vibe, and the crowd went crazy. I'm not quite sure who she is, how old she is. And she's maybe about, I'm thinking maybe about 10, 11-ish or something. Maybe a little older, but she was just so full of life, energy.
Do the schedules, sorry Tony, do the schedules cause the tents to clash sometimes?
Not necessarily. I'll tell you why.
Because you said there was another one on Saturday, right?
The Soca, the Ultimate Tent. So that's the difference. You have your Keenas who would attend the Soca tent, and you have your Tony Pauls and
you
so
mean
on.
that's a young folks kind of thing?
That's
okay,
right.
the Ricky T and
that's right. So they would have their own followers as well.
Yeah.
So TOT and KPT is strictly Kaiso, correct?
Just about.
And Soca Village, Soca the Ultimate would be Power and Groovy.
That's right.
Okay, all right,
That's
gotcha.
right. The prelims were also done over the weekend as well. So the judging of the prelims and so on. So the results should be out, if not as yet, pretty soon.
And it's a good point you're making, Tony, because these are two sets of followers.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a good point that you're making.
Right.
It's almost like if we're having a country and western dance in a particular community, and there's a thing there with Ricky T and them, right? We really have nothing to worry about.
That's right.
Yeah, true, very much.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you have one group who will attend that, and another.
Yes. And they have the in-betweens like myself.
Of course.
Who feel that, we're still young.
Yeah.
And you
would
want to
like
go
to- I would
to
have-
something different.
Right, I would
every
love
once
to
in a while,
catch
right?
Soca the Ultimate Tent. I swear to you. I would have really loved to get a piece of it.
I'd probably feel like a fish out of water if I were to attend that activity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because all these young people,
Yeah.
I don't know any of them.
I think just outside of the young people being there, I think it's the music that matters. So you do play that music on radio. So being there, you'll get firsthand to see the artist in action,
That's what I'm
performing and
talking
so on.
about.
So it might be very different.
Right.
And you would be most likely entertained.
Right. So, it's like we play the songs, you know what I mean? I'm just like, and to see them perform it live. I'm sure you always say that.
So you do
hear
play
the live
songs,
recordings
so you
and
hear
you're
it.
like, whoa,
So
okay. But
it's
actually
different to see
watching
them in action.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's put the spotlight back on you.
Yeah. Oh, really?
How are you feeling?
I'm doing a lot better. I have no pain this morning.
Woo!
So that's really good. The last few days, it's not been painless. I'll tell you that much. Getting around the house, was a no-no. I wasn't able to move from one point to the other without help. So and at times I wasn't able to eat, and having to go to the doctor and having IVs, an IV put in and getting my meds and having blood drawn, that was something else as well. But the ultimate thing is that no matter what you're going through, I mean, especially if you're an individual with a chronic medical condition, you would have gone through it time and time again. And sometimes you have no idea what the triggers are. Sometimes you're doing everything right.
Yes,
And it might
yes.
just be environmental factors that would send a flare and trigger something in your system, and it takes you down. But you learn to roll with the punches when it happens. And the most important thing is having individuals around you that check on you, that care, and that love you during that time as well. And they're not giving up. They're just as strong as you are. So when you're weak, they get strong. They could say something to bring a smile on your face, or maybe just a word of encouragement, or just checking in to say, hey, how you doing? So to all the individuals who checked in, thank you all so much for all the love and checking in. And I want to say thanks to Tony, thanks to the staff at Rev-Up St. Lucia. Also, Gemma checked in. Jojo actually checked in as well. Cecilia Benjamin, she checked in, and many others checked in. Ali and so many other people checked in. So that was good. There are times where I wasn't able to answer my phone, let alone just picking it up was painful. So still I haven't really gotten around to responding to Fire did check in as well, and he sent a message. So I haven't really gotten around to responding to every message or making the calls back, but thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it.
On that note, let me just let's talk about something which I think is important, right? Sometime last year, there's a lady who owes me some cash, all right? So I actually called her for the cash. Then she told me she was ill. She said to me she had gone to the doctor, she had surgery, and from what she said to me, it was really invasive. I mean, some serious stuff was taking place with her. Now, I was caught between a rock and a hard place. I really wanted to check on her again, but I was afraid that if I called her, she would think I'm calling for the money.
It's all about the money.
Yeah, that's how, so. I was really caught between a rock and a hard place. I said, I just didn't call.
But did you
I said,
have
let me give her some time. Let me give her some time until I think maybe she's, fully recuperated, and then I would call. And I made sure I had to explain. I said, listen, I didn't call you before for such and such. I explained to her my reasons for not calling before. She said, man, that'll be okay. But so let me just ask you, because you just said it a while ago, I'm Keena. Imagine you're down, okay, and people are calling and this sort of thing. I mean, to me, timing is everything. And to be calling when the person is in the heat of the throes of what they're going through, it's just not a good time. So let me just get your take on that. How do you feel about that?
It depends on the individual, though. Some individuals know what they're going through, and they know, hey, it's the thought that counts, that people are thinking, and they wouldn't want to disturb them, and that's okay. And other individuals, they get hurt by not receiving that call or text, thinking, hey, you do know about my situation, and you didn't call. Why? And it does hurt. But if you can't call, send a text or WhatsApp message. They will see it. At least they know that, you did check in, just in case. Because you just never know. Everyone is different. So while the person might be saying, yeah, I understand, but they're not being too forthcoming, and they might think, may I have?
Well, the may have could also be, as my boss calling to find out when can I come back to work.
Right.
I think, I'm not sure. Like I said, everyone is different, but a text message would be good. If you know, I mean, I don't know. For me, it really doesn't matter if people call or not call, because I know, hey, it's one of two things. Either they want me to rest, the other one, I just want to check on you to make sure that you're okay.
What I did was, in terms of Keena, just call first, no answer, text after.
Yeah, that's
If
what he did.
she still did not respond until she was ready, I'm like, okay, at least she'd see the missed call and also the
Yeah,
text
that's
message,
what
what
he
the
did.
text message said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're checking to see how you're feeling, how you're doing. Nothing about work, nothing like that.
Even when somebody has a family member, right? The person is your friend, and maybe you know the person, and a family member who they're really close to has passed. And I know that people call them up and ask them the same question.
Yeah.
And they have to be explaining over and over and over again. And to me, just give the person some space. Allow them to go through their thing, and then at a later date you check up. That's how it's almost like one time I remember I was at a hospital, and there's this sick person, and these group of people were there praying for the individual while the individual is there. I mean, really suffering. You know, and I remember I said that's enough. Let's stop, because the guy was in a lot of pain. Now the motive was pure, that they want to pray.
That they wanted to pray
for the gentleman.
and
you know, I remember the same thing that happened when George Odlum was ill at the hospital. I'd gone there to see him, and a group of people again from the church there praying, and I said to myself, boy, I mean, that's just not a time. That's not a time for that. I'm serious.
But to also
you
add
can
to
you
what
can you
you're
can
saying,
pray outside or pray at your home for the person. You don't have to necessarily be there and making the person hear you, and they have to be up trying to respond to what you're doing. Yeah.
And it's to also add to what you're saying, Andre and Tony, is that if you're an individual out there and you're listening, people are not mind readers. They're not psychics. So they're not going to know what it is that you do want. So if you have friends and family and you'd love for them to check in on you when something is wrong, say, hey, I'd love for you to check in. It really makes me feel a lot better. And if you're the type of individual that doesn't want anybody to check in, you just want to just go through the motion alone, or with less calls or less texts, you let them know what it is that you want, whether it's you're going for a difficult time, whatever it might be that's happening in your life, because we really and truly, we are not mind readers. Nobody really knows what you want in that given time. But if you need space, let them know, hey, I really do need space, or I really can't talk about this right now, and they'll understand.
I think that said, I think it's down to the individual.
Yeah.
And which I like. I really, really like what you said, because there would be certain times and different times where you don't mind a little company for a little while,
Yeah.
and then after a while you're like, nah, I'm just in pain, and I just want to be alone. Let me, you know what I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah, imagine you want to sleep, you want to rest, and you have a group of people there chatting away.
That is why at the hospitals you would find the nurses or the doctors saying, you can visit now because the doctor just did his or her thing.
Right.
You can visit now, but make it short because the patient needs rest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't wait for a doctor to say that to us.
No,
we
we
know the
shouldn't.
person is going through some stress or something. Just quickly, hey, I'm just coming, just a little touch to say hello, you okay, and leave. When you just want to hang around because you love the person so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you love them
You don't
to
want to
death.
let go. You want to be there all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you love them to death. Okay.
Andrea, how you doing, man? We ain't touched you yet, you know?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, the voice is
much
back.
better. That's right. Much better, yes.
Yeah. So Friday I was at Dax, Saturday at the Grapevine, and this weekend I have another heavy weekend coming up.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
man.
go,
yeah.
boy. You
Friday,
go, boy. That's
Friday,
right.
Saturday, and Sunday.
Wait.
Yes.
Whoa.
So Friday is going to be at Dax, Saturday down at La Richus Vieux-Fort, and Sunday at Release Stress Bar.
And where?
Release stress bar.
The names of the bars, though.
Release the stress,
Release the
man.
stress. Matter of fact, we have an ad for
Oh,
release
okay.
release stress.
I think you say as of today we're running it, huh?
Yes,
Okay,
that's right.
all right, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, we had another one last week for I think a summer weekend activity, but the one we have right now is a generic ad. So let me just take the opportunity. That's a small business, Tony. To thank Release Stress Bar for coming on board and giving us the support. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And also, Tony, I play there, so that's an added bonus.
Okay, when you said also, I thought you were going to the other one, Dax, man. Thank you, Dax.
Yes, yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes, of
Dax.
course.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you that.
I told him so personally.
All right.
But nothing wrong doing it publicly,
Doing it,
Tony.
That's for sure.
Yes, so
And-
Dax, thank you very much.
Yes, man, for sure.
But the thing that really stressed bar that was only confirmed this morning.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I.
You
you know,
always say that,
and Tony,
yes, I.
the amazing thing, the amazing thing is that they don't really have to invite me. There are a ton of fellas down there,
It's true.
right? So
No,
the
but
fact
you're you're dubbed the old school
School
master
master.
after all. Like, what do you expect?
Yes,
Are you
yes,
serious right now?
Yes, yes.
Shush.
the last time I played there, also my vehicle got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell her this
So
one.
wait. That's where you were?
That's why I was. I said it to her this
Oh
morning.
my
I said to him, make sure you leave a special parking spot.
That's right. That's right.
Are you going through
He man laugh.
PTSD?
He man laugh. He laugh.
PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Post-traumatic stress card disorder.
Tony, Keena, if I haven't gone through it yet, I'll be going through that on Sunday. When I get there.
Because
Well,
you know the memory.
Just make sure you're prayed up and you have your Bible in hand and don't look that way.
Yeah, man. So that's the
the
first
only
time
advice
since,
I can
right?
give
Yes,
you.
that'll be the first time.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh, yeah. That's
I
gonna
think he
be in
maybe
your
needs
mind.
someone to go with him. Don't
Okay.
you?
You sound like
Are you a champ?
you're inviting yourself.
No, man. he has his sidekick.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
forgot? He
Yeah.
has his sidekick.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Like
correct.
Superman needs his what you call that? Kryptonite.
So you're saying the guy's my weakness?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, after all, what do you call him? My best friend.
Boy.
Boy
My
friend.
boyfriend.
Boyfriend. He's there listening. You must see that dying, boy. You must see that dying.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So let me just read a couple of important things.
Sure.
You know, the first one, I already promised Hilton I'll do this for 2 weeks.
That's
So I'm
right.
continuing this week for sure. The last day will be on Friday. So heartfelt plea for help for Cecile Benjamin. Cecile recently underwent life-saving surgery to have a pacemaker implanted in Martinique, and now she needs continued care and treatment to protect her health and life. Okay, so if you can help, that's the operative phrase there. If you can help, donations can be made to her account at the Library Credit Union, Bridge Street, Castries, account number 56619. That's account number 56619. Again, account number 56619 at the Library Credit Union. That's on Bridge Street, Castries, under the name Cecile Benjamin. All right, so we wish her all the best.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Now, there's something else I have to report. Somebody called me yesterday and told me that they were at Republic Bank and they had gone to the ATM to make a withdrawal. And in the process, I think the person was there before them. His card got stuck in the ATM. So she said when she went to do her transaction now, his card actually came out.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So the person on that, the name on that card is Davidson Belize. Davidson Belize.
I know, mate, Andrew.
You do?
Yeah.
Is that from McClary?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, we call him Wang Wang.
You serious? Oh, well, Tony, make sure you call Wang Wang. And tell him
Hey,
that
Wang Wang.
his card was dropped off at Republic Bank,
Okay.
William Peter Boulevard
All
branch.
Right. So
right.
how are you gonna say? You
Wang
gonna
Wang.
call it-
We're going to collect your card. your card is at the bank.
That's how he said it.
Wang Wang.
So Davidson, small world, Tony, small world.
Small world, yeah.
Yeah, the other day
Yeah,
there was
small
something
world.
else that was lost and found, and our office manager happened to know the person.
Oh.
Yeah, and she called and they came to collect their belongings.
Yes. Or whoever is listening, tell Wang Wang, even right now, as we speak, if you know Wang Wang and you have Wang Wang number, tell Wang Wang.
name? David Daniel Belize.
Davidson Belize.
Belize.
Yeah, man. Tell Wang Wang. Wang Wang.
AKA
Wang Wang.
Wang
That
Wang.
you told him Wang Wang. Eh?
So,
My boy Wang Wang.
Am I for real?
yeah.
Taller?
Maybe, okay, maybe about the same height. Yeah, Wang Wang, short guy.
Okay.
He played football and everything for VSADC.
All
Maybe
right.
that's why he's called Wang Wang, because he's
The height.
a footballer.
Okay.
So, Mr. Belize, just go down to Republic Bank, William Peter Boulevard, to collect your ATM card. All right?
All right.
Okay. So, anything you guys want to mention before we move on?
Most definitely. That CMOS that you spoke about, or you're about to talk about it again.
No.
You can move on.
Yeah, but you I know you enjoyed it, Tony.
Oh, Andre,
The max.
I have never tasted anything better.
Wow.
What? Let me tell you, that was special.
What did you get it from?
Yaslin.
Oh, Yaslin.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything Yaslin
top.
touches
Yeah,
is gold.
peanut sea moss.
Oh gosh, boy! And I had me to sample the others as well. What are the others? The other two, I think one is ginger.
She had she also has the coconut. And let me see.
The ginger for sure. I tasted the ginger.
She has
She
the
has
coconut, the
flaxseed,
ginger,
no?
the peanut, and peanut punch, and regular sea moss with flaxseed and chia seeds.
I had the seeds one.
How was that one?
That was decent. You know what I mean?
You don't like the seeds?
I think so.
You know what I mean? And there was no like milk in that one. You know what I mean? Just like
it was just plain.
just plain.
That's the healthy stuff.
That's what I was just going to
I'm
say.
surprised you're like, nah.
I was
I'm not really
just going to say
feeling
that's the healthy stuff with the ginger and also the healthy stuff. You know what I mean? Because it was not mixed with anything else. So I know for sure that's the healthy stuff.
Your taste buds were like, ugh, I'm having that. Nah, I'm gonna pass.
But yes, Andre, superb.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she's listening, so I'm sure she'll be very pleased to hear that.
Most definitely. Want to give a big shout out to my boy Showtime, who was with us yesterday, played with us and everything, and he hung out with us. You know, Andre, one of the younger ones. All right, and his mom, they do listen. I don't know his mom's name. Maybe sure you will tell me your mom's name so that I can give her a big shout out again. They always listen. You know what I mean? His name is Malik St. Prix.
Okay.
We call him Showtime. In football, we call him Showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yesterday.
Gibson, good morning to you as well.
Morning, Grapey.
Yes.
Hope all is well. Yeah. Anything you want to mention? Anything? Yeah.
I'm just happy to be back.
Well, we're happy to see you. Keena. That's for sure.
The thing
all
about it, Andrew,
I just didn't expect to see you this morning.
Yes. The thing
he's
about
still
it.
looking at me like,
What are you doing here? You know what I mean? Yes. The thing about it, Andrew, you know, I know, and now Keena, of course. When you love what you do, man, you just simply miss it so much. You want to come back and get right back in action.
Yeah.
You know?
So you understand why the politicians keep coming back?
Oh,
That's
sure.
different, though.
They keep coming back.
For sure.
It's all about the money.
And power.
I know, right? For some of them, yeah.
Just so you'll say that. Just so you'll say that. So the fellas can have a genuine love for people and wanting to serve
I said
and
for some.
to give back.
Some.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay. Yesterday I got a couple of messages from old friends of mine telling me about the passing of Lenny Stone.
Lenny Stone, that's right. I'm glad you went there. I kind of forgot.
Now you see, for Keena, that's like we're talking Greek.
I know.
Yeah,
She has
I looked
no
at him
idea.
like, Lenny who?
Yeah, no idea who Lenny. You see, so when you see him, I keep talking about that. I think who were we talking about the last time we said the same thing? Was it Springer?
Winston Springer Senior.
Remember we were talking about somebody, and I said Keena had no idea who we were talking
It
about.
wasn't Springer because I wasn't there for Springer. No.
We were talking about
Someone
somebody who had passed and
A singer who was in the
A
UK,
singer?
I believe. Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think
Was
it
it
was,
Andrew? You think so?
I
you
think it
think
was
it was
him, yeah.
when the good Lord sends an angel, he's got to die. Was it him?
It was a singer.
Who we're talking about?
Could be. I'm not too sure, but we were talking about somebody, and Keena didn't know who we referred to. So the same thing now would apply for Lenny Stone.
Can I Google?
Yeah, I'm sure you get
see.
something.
I wonder if you'll see anything on Lenny Stone.
Let's
But try
see
a thing.
what I
Try a
find.
thing.
Yeah, and Tony and listeners and viewers, I keep asking myself, why does this thing happen? How is it that somebody can be at the top of their game, and then you have the next generation coming and they have no idea who you are. They have no idea. I go to the gym by the body, the 24-hour gym. Now these are a lot of young people there.
Okay.
Right, a lot of young people are there. But Tony, you'd be surprised. They actually know me, and they would say things like, "Oh, Mr. Paul, it's a pleasure meeting you. My mother used to listen to you. My mother used to watch you, kind of thing."
There you go.
So they kind of grew up, whether or not they liked, they liked the idea.
Yes.
But so they had no other choice. But they all, well, should I say, those who interact with me when I go there, they know who I am.
Right.
Okay, and they say so. They say so, whether male or female.
Yeah.
And
the years of television, Andre, that helped.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot for sure. I wasn't just a voice somebody hearing on the radio.
Right.
Right. So I was in people's rooms, bedrooms, kitchen, all over the place.
That's right.
Yeah, for years, for many years.
Consistently.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So a lot of people are very familiar with my face.
Yeah,
even more so than you, Tony, because you've been in the business as long as I have, and more people know me than they know you.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's for sure.
I found
Without a
something.
doubt.
So what did you find about
It
Lenny?
says that Lenny Stone began playing the steel pan at the age of 8. During his teen years, he developed a love for acoustic guitar and singing. He played with bands, traffic lights, and sunsetters, among others.
Sunsetters. We'll get there,
many
right?
of
Get
the
there.
hotels around St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call a brief bio.
That's it.
But Tony, I'm sure you're familiar with him. You're very familiar. Let me see if I can tease Keena. Are you familiar with the song called "When Christmas Comes Around"?
No, I suspect she wouldn't know that.
Okay,
When
I guess she
Christmas comes
probably knows
I'm-
Poinsettia Blossoms for sure,
Yeah.
but maybe
But
not by him.
Not by him,
By
by
the True
the
Tones,
late.
the True Tones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, there's another St. Lucian artist. I'm sure our listeners will probably, the name doesn't come to mind. He did a version of Poinsettia Blossoms as well, Tony. Another St. Lucian artist. You don't remember his name? One of the old stars back in the day of Live Wire. Remember Live Wire back in the day, Tony? You remember Live Wire?
I've heard about live wire, but what did that mean? Live wire, meaning back then here in St. Lucia. Maybe that would help me.
Well,
What was it?
it was like these bands, like the True Tones,
Right.
and in those days, you had the Luther Francois.
Yes.
They had these groups, a lot of bands, and these guys would play live and so on, right? A lot of people followed them back in. All is well there?
No, that was Lenny Stone Poinsettia Blossoms when Christmas comes along playing in the
Aren't you-
background.
I'm,
Which is weird.
I'm wondering if you're talking about the guy with this baritone voice here.
Lenny
Not
Stone?
him, right? That,
No.
that did the Poinsettia Blossoms as well?
No, there's another St. Lucian artist. I think this guy spent most of his time in the US, if I'm not mistaken. But he's another person who did Poinsettia Blossoms, and that's hardly ever played. And I wonder if it's even available.
Was
So if
it
anybody's
because
listening
I
and
know
they
the
know,
Calypsonian who sang Poinsettia Blossoms. He was in a wheelchair. I can't remember his name now.
you talking about
Really?
Pele?
Yeah.
I don't think he ever did
No,
Poinsettia
I don't.
Blossoms.
No, you sure?
No, not for
So
like his
maybe-
Christmas album kind of thing.
So
Definitely
maybe I'm
not.
confusing him for Lenny Stone then,
Yeah.
if anything.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's talking about, I'm sure she's talking about Pele.
Really?
Yeah, him.
Okay.
But there's another artist, as I said, okay, and I will get the name.
Yes, for
I'll
those
get
of
the
you
name.
who know, maybe you can message us and we will probably get it a little later on. Like John Q, just in case you know who Andre is talking about, send us a message.
Yeah. So I will get it. I'll get it for sure. So Lenny Stone, I got to know him when I joined Sunsetters.
That's right.
Okay, and Tony
What year was that?
Long.
Alton,
In
that's
the
a long time
70s.
ago, in the 70s,
70s.
Oh,
somewhere around
wow.
there.
Yeah.
So Alton and Tony would know Lenny very, very well.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Tony, I mean, Lenny Stone had what you call a beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. And he used to live up at Mondadon. And when I joined the band, we'd go, Mr. Cadas would pick us up at our homes. But it was a little difficult with Lenny because all the way at the top of Mondadon. So he'd come and wait by Courts. Okay, close to North South Enterprises. So he'd be by Courts, we'd pick him up and so on. One of the most peaceful guys, Tony, you can ever come across.
Lenny.
Yeah, never quarrel with anybody, never get on.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
just a peaceful guy, right? And he made his mark at the hotel, on the hotel circuit, and those days it was the Sandals La Talk.
All right.
Anthony, as you know, we played all over the place. We were all over the place, all the different hotels.
Smugglers?
No.
Y'all never did Smugglers?
No, I don't
too?
think we ever
Okay.
did Smugglers.
Okay.
But you remember, remember Halcyon
Halcyon?
Days?
Oh, yeah. Halcyon Days.
Halcyon
report.
Days in Beaufort. Keena, you're
No,
not
go
even
ahead.
conceived yet.
She was not even an idea. She was not
Please
even
let
an
me
idea.
know. I want to know more about Lenny Stone, actually.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Andre would know a lot.
Yes, because we worked together for many years,
yes.
many years.
He was
right?
the lead singer for the band,
Sunsetters.
Sunsetters, yeah.
That's right. And imagine on a night, you're talking about because 90% of the songs, 95% of the songs, he'd be singing.
Yes.
Right, so a lot of energy for the entire night because most of the songs were sung by Lenny, and I think he has a brother who was a Calypsonian, if I'm not mistaken.
You betcha.
Right. Yes. Where's that guy? He passed already, by the way. The Calypsonian.
What's his
Honestly,
brother's
Empress.
name?
He's Empress Ika's father.
That's right.
Who's Empress Ika's father?
Miss, yeah, boy. You know Empress Ika, right?
Yeah, she worked at
good.
Radio 100.
That's
and
right.
At RC at one point.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his
I
name.
think that's why she has a beautiful voice too.
Yes.
So-
But head on it, she has a
has some
daughter
pipes.
that also, met the daughter recently by Luther, the bakery.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this person was just singing. I'm like, hey, little child singing well, huh? Then she said, Empress Ika is my mommy.
You kidding
I'm
me?
like, what? Andrea, she's not shy.
It runs in
she
the
just
family.
sang.
Yeah.
And she goes to the Leclerc school there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Ika is her mom,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Lenny was Ika's uncle.
That's right.
But the guy who sang the calypso,
I'm trying to
I don't remember his
remember
name.
Yeah.
Boy,
yeah,
I tell you,
yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
after one time is another,
You know
boy.
what I'm saying? Andre, he probably may died, you know.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, I
so.
think
I haven't
they
seen
died.
him. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone can chime in and let us know.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, it'd be really good that someone tells us.
So we'll get the information. We'll get the information for sure. So so Tony and Keena, I was intimately involved in the production of When Christmas Comes Along,
Oh,
and
wow.
also the Points of the Blossoms with Lenny Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time there, I was with the band and we used to rehearse at Sanders Talk. And Charles
Was
Cadet.
it called Send Us Talk back in the day?
Yeah, it's Cunard Latok. The Cunard.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's true. Kunal.
okay.
Yeah, correct. And I'm Charles Cadet. That's how I met Charles Cadet. I guess you would know Charles Cadet for sure.
No.
Okay.
I've heard
Tony, you know
a
Charles
lot
Cadet?
about him, but not. I don't know.
Okay, I know of Charles Cadet for sure.
But you never met him personally.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair-skinned gentleman, kind of shortish,
Right.
but very talented.
Mhm.
And he wrote those two songs, Charles Cadet. So we have to give Charles his props for that.
Mhm.
But I remember, Tony, that they were rehearsing that song, man, over and over because Lenny was going to be traveling to England to record those two songs.
Mm.
Yes. So when he got up there was a band that they put together and everything, and that's why we have what we have today. But you, as I said, you're more familiar, Keena, with the Points of the Blossoms than the When Christmas Comes
Yes.
Along. Yeah.
Yes.
So these were probably his two greatest songs, right, Tony? Probably his two greatest songs.
I think so too.
Yeah. Now he also did what he called test tunes.
Yeah.
For every carnival, he'd have a test tune.
Yes.
Now
For the pans.
for the pan,
Yeah.
exactly.
So he started with Pan and moved into just singing and focused solely on that, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I can tell you see up at Radio 100 there, they have all the music.
Mm.
All the pan songs are there.
That's
They're
true.
on CD.
That's
They're
true.
on CD.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the new kids on the block will even know where those CDs are.
Right.
I just have to go in that studio, Tony.
And you
I know
just-
exactly where they are. You see the old broom
Close
through the corner. I can go to the studio right now. That's if, of course, it's still the same way.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you exactly where those songs are. And I really, really hope Radio 100, because they have the music, that they feature his music for a little while, because he has some really, really good songs, apart from When Christmas Comes Along and Points of the Blossoms.
I'm also seeing online there's something called The Nature of the World. Another song.
The Nature of the World.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately.
Paulinus is his brother's name, though, the one that sang.
Right,
So
Paulinus, that's right.
He's very much alive, according to my sources.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
he's still very
Great,
much alive.
great.
Okay. But can somebody tell me that other artist who did a version of Points of the Blossoms? It's a St. Lucian. I think, Tony, it's on the same album with Parrot, the Lucian Parrot.
Mm-hmm.
The Lucian Parrot, his popular, Noello Noello.
Yes, Christmas song.
Yeah. That song is on that same album.
Andrew, but to me that was a one song.
Well, no, there's a compilation. There's a compilation with that song and the others and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I can see the album, but yeah, I just don't remember the name of that artist. But it's an old-time fella, old-time singer, back in the day. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to really big up Lenny Stone.
Yeah.
It's just a pity, I said, I do not know where those musicians go wrong. Maybe it's because they don't, I don't know, they don't...
I'm seeing Emily.
They don't-
Moore.
You don't remain current, Andre.
okay, there you go.
I'll say this much. Papa Veda, man, in the interview that I had with him right here at Rev-Up St. Lucia, Papa Veda said to me he will continue to compete regardless. Young fellas tell him, boy, Papa, you old man and all of that. Nah. He say
Old
because
man.
he say once you stop competing, Andre, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You just forgot. You pushed aside.
I totally have to agree with him.
Yes, you're
Compete
pushed
till
aside.
You can't compete anymore.
Exactly.
He has so much to bring to the table, actually.
Oh, yeah,
and I
man.
don't think
Oh,
he
yeah.
should be sidelined.
Mm-hmm.
I think the up and coming young ones can learn a lot from him.
I think so too.
So
Yeah, well
he's
said,
needed
Keena.
in our culture, part of our culture,
Mhm.
and our identity. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really hope others take the opportunity to big up Lenny Stone. And you're right, Tony, you're right. I think that's our problem. We don't remain current. We don't change over the years. Maybe we have a certain style, a certain way of doing things. And you look at a guy like Michael Jackson, for example, Tony, and how Michael Jackson was able to change and adapt all through the years. And there's so many other artists who have done the same
Who've done
thing.
the same,
They change,
right.
even if they have to do a collaboration with some
Collaboration or
rapper or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to keep themselves relevant.
That's
So
right.
it's Lenny he just went into the sunset, and that was it. The last time I saw Lenny, I was actually taking a walk in the Moshi area there, and he was waiting for a transport. I remember I stopped and we spoke for about a good 15 minutes.
Okay.
We were chatting and everything, talking about old days and whatever, but he had apparently fallen on some hard times as anything else.
And he got ill, Andre. He
Yes.
had like 2 strokes.
Mm.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I wasn't aware that he
Yes.
actually had strokes.
That's
Wow,
right.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I don't know. I feel bad for the number of musicians in St. Lucia who have fallen along the wayside like that.
Yeah.
And so many people, as Keena is saying there, to have no idea who those people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Radio St. Lucia for things like that, because
That's true.
If Radio St. Lucia was still around by now, and maybe we could find some of his songs online. The only thing that I'm getting is, the Christmas Story and the other one. I guess maybe we could play it a bit later on, but it's the archives, it's things of that sort that matters most too, and it's part of our identity and our culture, and we should not just, keep it locked away and we don't know of one's history. I never heard about it. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Never.
Imagine that. Yeah. So, well, we have to keep ourselves relevant. What's his name again? Johnny. What's his name again? Tony.
Johnny Romeo?
Not Johnny Romeo. He died already. What's the
Right.
other one again? He used to do a lot of karaoke.
I wonder if that's the one
He was on the
was
ship.
mentioning
He
with the
worked on the
baritone
ship.
voice.
I think so.
Right.
I think so.
Somehow his name just ain't coming to me. He had an album that he did, but you see, Andre, the music was just like keyboards, brass, and you know what I mean? It was
More karaoke type thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yes.
Exactly.
He did My Way on that and a few other songs.
That's right.
Yeah. Good singer.
Andre, tremendous.
Spent many years on the
the
ship.
ship.
I'm not sure if Lenny did a stint on the ship as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me
Because that's what those are the opportunities that are available to a lot of the musicians back in the
You
day.
either do the ship or you do the hotels.
Right.
Because there were not enough local gigs
Mhm.
that would allow you to actually, perform and let St. Lucians see you and enjoy you, They
Mhm.
just were not enough back in the day.
Boy, you have to ask yourself the question, were you born at the right time?
Andrew, I say that all the time.
With all that talent and ability, if these guys were born today, it would have been something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and you look at a guy like Boo Hinkson, for example, Tony, and Keena, how Boo has transformed himself.
Oh yeah, over the
yeah.
years.
Over the
yeah.
years.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's on another
He's on another
level.
spectrum.
Mm.
He's on another level.
Jimmy Havens, right, Tony?
That's the
That's
name.
the
Yeah.
individual.
Jimmy
Oh,
Havens.
okay.
Right.
Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Oh, Andrew,
I'll
are we talking about Gandalf St. Clair? The Points at the Blossom song?
No.
Okay,
Emil,
because
Emil
but
Ford,
thanks
I'm seeing
Emil
Emil
Ford.
Ford.
Emil Ford.
Online.
Emily.
Emil or Emily?
Emil.
Emil
Ford.
Emil Ford.
Who gave that information?
Online.
What did
I
you?
actually typed Points at a Blossom St. Lucia, who's singing it, and it came up with a list of Merry Christmas Lucian Style,
Wow.
the albums on that, the songs on that album. So there's Points at a Blossoms, We Three Kings, there's Christmas Story by Papa Veda, It's Plain Cake for Me by Pele, Soca Zook for Santa by
That's
Lucian Parrot,
okay.
Right.
Mind
Okay.
Your Business by Christopher Hunt, and there are other ones, Traditionnel by Mighty Pele, A Slice of the Pie by Raz Africa. So all of So,
So Tony, can you remember Emil Ford? No.
I just remember the
exactly.
name.
Yes,
That's it.
Emil Ford. He has a
Yeah.
version of Points at the Blossoms.
Oh,
I
so
wonder-
maybe that's what I think.
I wonder if we if I go on YouTube if I'll get that by Emil Ford.
Let's see.
And then, of course, the TG Fury, Tony. Remember TG Fury? It's Christmas.
Yes, Christmas
The
time.
only thing that's left of that song, Tony, I have it on CD, is a lot of dust.
Really?
A lot of dust. I can't even play the song because they didn't want to dust on the thing.
Oh, wow.
Let me tease Keena again. Do you know? Have you ever heard of "It's Christmas" by?
No, forget that. By TG Fury.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of TG Fury?
Right.
No. No. I'm seeing Emil Ford and the Checkmates.
I think so. Checkmates. Yeah.
This is June, and there's Emil Ford and the Checkmates Dreamboat. Full album is on there. Oh wow. Ooh.
You know,
That's 70s right there.
folks, we have to apologize. There's still refurbishing
on the
taking
other
place
end.
next door there. My gosh, boy. What, Tony, how long has it been now?
Gosh, a few months. It looks like
Yeah.
at least a couple of months. Yeah, and
Good joke, Tony. The next side start.
Oh gosh, that is something. Once that is done, the other side just commences. Whoa,
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
So back in the day, Emil Ford. These are the popular people
Right.
back in the day. Back in the day. Yeah. All right. So we wish him, safe trip to wherever the creator decides
Yeah,
to
wherever.
will take him.
Some
But it's
individuals
just
will
so
be saying
sad,
that
man.
he's playing music in heaven, right?
Yeah.
Especially if he loves music.
Yeah. So many of our greats. Just as I said, just fall along the wayside. And when they pass, it's just one group of people who know them, remember them, and that sometimes that generation who would remember them have already passed.
Right.
Yeah. So I really hope maybe a guy like maybe Winston Springer Jr. will probably do a good story on
Lenny Stone.
on Lenny Stone. But them those younger reporters and so on, I doubt it.
Right.
You never know. Someone just might surprise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luther
Put
said that he
something
did
together.
a stint on the Cunard lines though.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Cunard Lions. What's
So-
Cunard Lions?
Meaning meaning the boat.
Oh, okay.
You remember they don't do they exist still? Because there was Cunard Latok who had the hotel and they had the ship as well.
Oh, okay.
Cunard Lines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would do
as well, the
cruises and so
Cultural
on.
Development Foundation has a short bio on him. So that's where I got some of the information. So that's really great that the Cultural Development Foundation has that.
On whom?
Lenny.
What does it
Lenny
say?
Stone.
What does it
says
say?
Lenny Stone, exactly what I said earlier.
Oh, you read it already?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And there's more there. However, his fondness and preference for solo performances would eventually become evident. In his formative years of his music career, Lenny had been approached by a local promoter, Terry Wilson, who had
another
taken
name
notice
again.
of him during a small public gathering. Terry would later invite Lenny to perform at the Bitter End, a popular restaurant owned by George Odlum.
Yes, the bitter end. That's right.
It
That's right.
also went on to say it was during one of his performances there that Lenny Stone was approached by Charles Cadet, who was at the time looking for a voice for one of his compositions, and a lasting professional relationship was born. Their working relationship has produced well-known St. Lucian classics, The Nature of the World and Poinsettia Blossoms. The well-known piece, Poinsettia Blossoms, is one of the pieces that Lenny Stone will perform in honor of cultural icon Charles Cadet on Sunday, May 4th of 2015 at the National Cultural
Way back then.
Way back then.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so that's that.
Okay, well, we wish him all the best, as I said, Tony. But he made his little contribution, and just like our day will come, Tony, at some point.
Yeah.
Time we have to move out. Yeah, we have to make way.
That's the thing, nobody escapes.
Yes.
Nobody.
Yes. Sometimes I think about that, Tony.
I do too. When that time comes.
Sometimes I think about that. I say,
you go like,
imagine
wow.
that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more. But
That's
right. We
right.
can't change that. Now, talking about that, one of the guys from Kool and the Gang, one of the I think he did some lead vocals and so on. His name is Michael Sumler. He died on Saturday.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
probably before JT Taylor.
Yes. I think he joined the group in 1960
60 something.
Yes.
70.
Yeah, and the group was actually formed in 1964. That's Kool and the Gang.
Right.
So Ladies' Night, Get Down on It, Celebration, Jungle Boogie. Remember that? So he joined in 1985.
He joined the group in 85.
In 85.
Maybe
That's right.
after J.T. Taylor then.
Probably
He
so.
replaced J.T. Taylor. Okay, okay. Because J.T. The song that you mentioned was done by J.T. Taylor. He was the lead singer on those songs.
Yeah.
Except Jungle Boogie. Jungle Boogie was a little before J.T. Taylor's time. So if you say 85, because around 84, 85, J.T. Taylor had started doing solo.
Yep. So, I think
he died.
he's better known as Chicago Mike.
Okay.
Oh.
He's 71.
Is there an age there for him?
Yeah, 71.
71.
71, okay.
But he was actually involved in an accident. He was driving, he was at the wheel, and his vehicle hit another vehicle, and he died. He died on the spot. Now, that's the freaky thing about life. If you could just predict how you go in, boy.
Yeah.
What?
You'll be prepared, right?
Yeah. So we don't have
You'll
much.
be prepared.
Yeah, we don't have details as to what was, if he was speeding or anything. Somebody was speeding. We don't know.
Oh, boy.
We don't know. But again, another great artist.
Yeah.
Who made his contribution, and he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talking about accident, I read a story last week in the States. I think a 4-year-old boy lost both his parents. His parents died as a result of separate accidents.
Yeah.
Here's the story. The mother, I think the mother and father were planning to get married in February next year. So the mother was driving. They said she was driving fast, and issues with the vehicle, whatever happened, and she died. She died on the spot. So they called him, the fiancé, to let him know that the lady had passed. So he now was speeding to the scene,
Oh,
and he
my
had an
word.
accident, and he died. Yeah,
I don't even know what to say.
yeah, so freaky.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's
freaky.
definitely a freak accident. Two individuals
Yes.
in love, planning a wedding.
That's right.
Next
And
year,
they have a son?
dying in similar
Circumstances.
circumstances
And on the same day.
on the same
Because he's
day.
rushing to the
hours
scene.
apart or maybe minutes apart from each other. That's I don't know.
Really freaky.
That's odd.
There was one I read many years ago where two brothers collided with each other
What?
and they died. Yeah, two brothers.
That's also
They were both speeding.
real freaky.
Yeah, they collided with each other.
Talk about
and they
Final
both died.
Destination, man.
Yep. Well said.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now you have a little kid, a little 4-year-old who's
Right.
lost both parents.
Right.
So I say that to the people who like to ask and think, something bad you're doing in your life. What do you say to those people? To the man rushing to the scene to go and check on his wife, who he was told was in an accident, she died. So what bad did those people do? I keep asking those questions all the time.
Why we automatically just think that someone does bad when something happens.
Something happened, yeah.
We need to stop that.
We need
Exactly.
to stop
We need to
it.
stop that.
You really do not know what's going on in a person's life. Maybe that's how it was destined to be. I don't know. That's how they had to go. And that's how they went.
Yeah.
There was an accident in Trinidad there on Saturday night. A family, I think there was a 4-year-old in the vehicle. So the 4-year-old died, his mother died, his father died. Right? In the accident. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But the
my.
speeding was involved again. Speeding was an issue. I don't know, boy. I don't know why we feel the need to speed.
The need for speed.
I don't understand that. Why?
Adrenaline
It's actually
rush.
a game, though. The need for
Adrenaline
speed.
rush.
Something happens, some of us are wired that way, especially when something tragic happens or you just find out some bad news. You want to just rush somewhere, go to the side of your loved one, and you don't think of anything else. I just want to get there.
Yeah.
I want to be there for this person. And even though you may have been told that that person is dead, it doesn't register. All you want to do is get there. And people don't, in times like that, they don't really think. In other situations, as it relates to individuals just driving recklessly on our roads, that's something totally different. But someone who is or has gotten information that a loved one has passed or is ill and they're rushing, that's understandable. But it would be good that they're at the time that there's someone around them that could say, you know what, don't drive, let me just remain calm, and then go with them. That'll be, but it's not always the case. That's the thing.
Yes. I'm talking about accidents and so on. Tony, remember last week we were talking about a father who was charged for negligence. I think he left his licensed firearm underneath a pillow on the couch or something.
Right.
And remember, he's going to be they will sentence him, okay, for negligence because the boy took his revolver
Right.
and shot him. He shot himself. That's in Jamaica. There's one similar to that. This time involving a mother. Yes, the mother left the licensed firearm in her purse. Okay,
Ouch.
and I think she said she put the children to bed, right? Which includes again a 4-year-old. So what I find strange about the story is that they said the 4-year-old was shot at the back of the head. Now that I find a little strange. Unless the police are not giving all the information, if it's the other sibling who probably took the
Most
gun,
likely.
we don't know.
You just never know what children are doing. You might put them to sleep, and you've seen many videos on social media of children, pretending to be asleep and they're not.
Yeah.
Children are always intrigued by what they see. They see something and really don't know the harm that it could potentially bring. So, boy.
She said she went to the restroom, and while in there, she's hearing the explosion. Comes outside.
Oh, that's tough.
So the little 4-year-old, was shot in the back of the head. So as I said, that story didn't say if it was the other sibling who had the gun. I don't know.
Well, if
now,
she did say she went to the washroom and she heard a loud explosion, most likely it's the other sibling. Maybe the other sibling had the gun in hand, his or her hand, and they pulled the trigger, and that the 4-year-old was asleep at the time. I'm only assuming, but wow.
Let me tell you a little something.
What's that?
Curiosity as a child or children, something about a gun. Andre can relate to what I'm about to say. Our grandfather had this silver gun
Remember
in
that?
his
I remember,
bedroom.
and I was laughing.
You were
last
laughing, right?
time.
So we've spoken about that already. And we were just curious, Andre.
Yeah.
Up to now, I cannot tell you because maybe just our curiosity. If the thing was real.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I know there's some.
Yeah, just out of
there
curiosity.
were some
they
bullets
don't
in
know.
There were some bullets
There's
as
some bullets in
well.
there.
Yeah, because
I
we
still
still look
can't
at
get
it.
past that your grandfather had a gun. Seriously, I really just...
Not too certain if it was, was working or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
but
but
we
then
were so
out of
curious. It was heavy
curiosity
as hell.
too.
A heavy silver thing, man.
Out of curiosity too, a child will pick up a gun.
We did. That's what we said. We did.
Might
pick it
be
up.
thinking
tell
it's
you,
a toy.
when the man would leave, although we knew how he was, when a man would leave the house, we would go into that room.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
To see
That's
what's going
exactly
on.
what it is. We
Just
went
to
to
see
the
what's going
bedroom,
on.
his bedroom, and just searching, looking for stuff. And he had a whole lot of tools, man.
And car parts.
And car parts and so on, in his bedroom.
I can't remember me being so curious
sure?
when I was a child. I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And we would hold that gun, heavy thing, man.
Yeah. And examine it.
Yeah.
Well, they were heavy back in the day. They're a lot lighter now.
I don't think it was real.
Probably was not
Yeah,
not
no,
real,
I-
Andrew.
Some
Why
toy
would
thing.
your grandfather have a fake gun? Who was he trying to scare back then?
Didn't he have a smaller one, Tony? Did he have a smaller one
I
as well?
don't remember. I just remember that big silver one.
But
With the
but
long barrel.
that's
Uh-huh.
Tony. I'm glad you made that point. Kids are just curious.
Very, very curious.
Okay, they're
yes.
curious, and that's why you have to be so careful. I feel sorry for the lady. She left the thing in her bag. Kid go into the bag there, and like, my gosh, boy, what? Imagine you think your kids are sleeping.
Maybe the child went into the bag looking for candy.
Who knows? Who knows,
something
man?
else. Not knowing there's a gun, but that thing in
why?
there picked the child's interest. Be like, woo, a gun.
She's supposed to be
toy.
appearing
Maybe
in court.
she saw it's a toy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she will be charged. And
Definitely.
she's not, and I'm sure she will do jail time for negligence.
Tony, what you were saying the other day, when you have a licensed firearm, it's supposed to be on your person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or locked away
locked
in
away,
some kind
yes.
of vault or something
A
like
vault
that.
or something.
Nobody can
Yeah.
reach that.
That's right.
Yeah. In her bag.
Yeah.
Children go in parents' bags all the time.
Yes.
So I'm not.
Just-
I can't. I don't think we should be hard on her because anything is possible. I'm thinking. I put my children to sleep. I'm going to shower, and maybe she had the intention of going back into that bag to put the gun away, and she didn't have time to do it. But it's
Well, when you say we shouldn't be hard on her, what do you mean? That
no,
she
if
shouldn't be.
anyone is saying, because we really don't know. Not us, I'm just saying, listeners out there, because we're not hard on her at all. But still, with getting a gun, it comes great responsibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
imagine you now, as a parent, right? You've been it's really your fault, really.
Yeah.
Imagine how the trauma that you're going through. You talk about somebody needing counseling at that
Counseling.
at that time. There, counseling is paramount
Yeah.
because you're going through a traumatic experience and it's through your fault.
Yeah.
There's a story I read recently. I think in the Cayman Islands, there was some guy who, a burglar, entered somebody's premises, came in there. There was some scuffle, shots were fired, and the lady's little boy got killed. And the man is now in court, right? And the wife now, or girlfriend, whoever she was, is blaming him and saying, if you're not fraternizing with these people, that particular guy, that wouldn't have happened. So the relationship is all strained and everything right now. Those people who have their children in hot cars and so on, imagine how you feel knowing that this is your fault. Boy, that is rough. That is rough for a parent to go through that kind of thing. I feel sorry for the lady. I feel sorry for the gentleman. But then again, if they don't come down hard on those cases, people might just take it for granted that,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
it's a cool thing, you know. There's another story in South Africa where I think a lady sold her 6-year-old daughter for $1,000 US. And the person she sold the child to is somebody who was involved in black magic and so on. Yeah, so I think they said they wanted to use the child's body parts and things like that. And they have no idea what the child is,
Because the person, when I heard the story, I'm like, the person probably did what they wanted to do.
Did what they had
already
to do as
used the
well.
body parts.
Used the body parts, yeah.
But again, what can this mother, and by the way, the boyfriend was
Yes.
involved as well, huh?
Yes.
So you have the mother, the boyfriend, and another partner, right?
Whom the mother, I think, told that she was going to do that.
Yes.
And that person spoke.
So you mean to say things are so rough and tough with you that you have the guts to sell
a
your
child
child?
for $1,000.
Miss, boy.
Yeah.
Wow,
For
boy.
body parts.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So those of you, again, who like to say it's bad, something bad somebody's doing, what did the child do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's a little child,
Innocent.
Yeah.
a 6-year-old.
Innocent child.
Okay, Tony, I'm bringing it. I'm constantly bringing this up because this is something that I know we think that way. That it's our first thought. We hear a hurricane hit a country. Oh, what bad things they're doing. They're paying for this and that and the other, right?
Yeah,
And you hear
yeah,
people
that all
say,
the time.
oh, St. Lucia is blessed.
Because we haven't gotten any
Yeah, this
damage
is-
lately.
this is Papi
Everything
Show.
of that,
Yeah. But the Rickety, it's just not your time. Or it's your
Not your
time.
turn,
Not your turn.
It's
Not
not
your
your
turn.
turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, let's end on a good note. The truckers, Tony, we have to say bravo to Spooner. Spooner was outspoken, boy. Spooner is outspoken. And I'm very, very happy because we have a situation in St. Lucia. It's been a while, it's been like that, and I don't like it. There's a story about some Marigo Beach incident where I think they may be asking the vendors in the Marigo Beach area there to upgrade their skills and things like that. And they're saying that they asked them to move from there, right? And they've been there for how many years? And what my major concern about that was the fact that one of the vendors chose to disguise his voice,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah, to disguise his voice so people wouldn't recognize his voice. So you contrast that to Spooner now. Spooner is coming out boldface. I'm saying this, Tony and Keena, right? And I hope the politicians are listening. We shouldn't be at a stage in our development where you are the one that you're supposed to be serving the people. That's what we vote you in for. That's why we vote you. And even if we do not vote you in, you also have to understand you sworn oath to uphold the constitution of the country. The constitution says, which is the supreme law, that you have a right to associate with whomever you want to associate, and politicians have to respect that. And if politicians are you want to go into politics and you do not want to be criticized. You don't want to be criticized. You have how somebody criticizes you. I'm making a general statement. I'm not saying that for anybody. Politicians should not be in a position where that the people of the country have to be afraid that if they speak out that they'll lose their job and things like that. That shouldn't be.
Yeah,
People are supposed to be able to speak
that's
out.
against the Constitution of St. Lucia.
That's the person's right.
People should speak out.
You can speak out.
against it.
You're going for an issue. Why should somebody have to disguise their voice?
No,
And
but I want to ask, right? Is that the reason why this man disguised his voice, or maybe was it because of a politician?
Well,
He
they're
knew that
afraid.
as a
They're
fact.
afraid that by speaking out, that they may be targeted, and that's a fact. That's a fact. They may be targeted. I'm saying here, the politicians have to understand that the people are the ones who vote you in. You're working for the people, not for you to come and make life difficult for other people. You must understand that somebody has a right to criticize you, even if they may be talking foolishness.
But what really happened at Marigold Bay? They going to tell me that again. What's happening?
Apparently there's this development taking place, and the people who work on the beach and so on, right? I guess they do certain things that I guess the developer is not pleased with, like harassing people and this kind of thing, and whatever, and whatever way that they behave. I've seen some of them already. When I say some of them, I mean I've been to the beach on many occasions, and I see how some of these hustlers behave. So there's no doubt that we have those kinds of issues. So there's this talk now that they will be asking them to vacate the premises. That is the talk.
Okay.
As to whether that's a fact, I do not know. So this guy is speaking and saying, I've been there for how long and whatever. And at the same time now, he's disguising his voice. And that's what I'm saying, that should not be. We have to send a message to our politicians that you are being elected by the people. You have no right to be making people's life miserable.
But let's take the issue at hand. They're asking, well, allegedly, that these individuals who are vendors outside that resort or hotel, they're being a nuisance to guests. So if something is happening, obviously it's the hotel's management that has to say, you know what, this is what we're going to do because this is happening. What does that have to do with the authorities? I don't get it. Or someone actually having to doctor their voice, and maybe they just did it because they wanted to.
Yeah, but remember, you're speaking against the establishment, the one who owns the property and so on, and you are there. You are the one you're on the beach, right? So you could be targeted.
Okay, in that sense, I get it.
Yeah.
But let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, no, let's not hope it doesn't happen. It does happen.
Well, let's hope.
And I'm saying,
if it's happening, let's hope it stops.
I'm sending. Well, no, it can only stop when we speak out against it, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Right. So it's either you join me or you just stay quiet.
No, but we do not know. We do not have the facts.
Spinning.
No, I'm trying. I don't have the facts. The man didn't say. If I heard the video, do you have a clip of the video to play?
I'm saying to you that the gentleman disguised his voice. That's a fact.
Okay, he disguised.
And I'm saying it's a fact also that politicians target certain people who speak up. That's a fact. And I'm saying that needs to stop. We must speak out against it and let the politicians understand that you are elected by the people. You can't come and use your power and authority to make somebody's life miserable. We should not be in a position where somebody has to disguise their voice because they want to speak out. That's Papi Show. That's ridiculous. And that's my point.
Okay.
And there was silence.
No, I was going to say something but I'll just say okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Because I do not know why the man disguised his voice. So I can't.
I get that too. I get that too. You know what I mean?
So
because it's. I think, Marjorie, you're probably separating the two, so to speak. Like saying this is an example, but then when people speak out, they're afraid of.
I get.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what
repercussions. Tony, when we have homicides in St. Lucia, and you have somebody in the community who will speak out and give information, they're very careful to say, please, do not allow my voice to go out there. Right. Make sure I'm anonymous and things like that, because they're afraid of the repercussions. Yes. That's why they disguise in their voice.
Yeah.
So that vendor is afraid, right, of repercussions. And I'm saying it should not be like that in St. Lucia. It shouldn't be that way. Somebody should feel free to speak out if they've been affected. And I gave the example of Mr. Spooner, right? People could probably see him as a troublemaker, right, at the Air and Seaports Authority. But guess what? The guy's got a listening ear. I think the issue had to do with congestion there. I think a lot of vehicles are parked in the area there. And we see them. There are dozens of them. Whether these vehicles are imported by the vehicle companies and so on, or could be somebody who's just importing a vehicle on their own, but the vehicles are there, right? So taking up a lot of space and so on. And there's all kinds of overcrowding, and the guys are getting fed up with the thing, to the point, I tell you, on a Saturday, for example, I'm driving there, and the fellas are parked all in the Fuwasho area. You can barely even move because the place is just congested.
Yeah, I agree with the truckers going and doing what they did. Because, we might say, okay, it affected us in some way and so on, but we do not know what's happening with them. And they may have been complaining about that for quite some time. And we don't see the bigger picture of it here. It will hit us, the consumers, as well. Because when the truckers go to the port to get goods, and let's just say, for instance, the supermarket shelves or the business places, they don't have their goods, who does it affect? It filters through. It filters down to us, the customers. And I agree with them.
Yes.
So it seems they were able to work something out, and Slash has promised now to look at it and involve the various stakeholders and see how they can address the problem. So at least it's been addressed.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm happy that it's being addressed.
So we end on that positive note.
Yes.
So let's get now into the shout-outs.
All right. Since you're back, you're ready to take charge of the WhatsApp platform?
Yeah.
This is Hard Drive, folks. Hard Drive. AP is here alongside Keena and Tony. So we're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and also on DBS Television. Yeah. So thanks a lot for checking us out.
Okay, so let me go to the WhatsApp platform on here. It's taking a little bit of time, so let's go. 1 second.
If you don't have it, I could probably kick off right away.
It came up.
And oh yes, it's there now. I can see you have it.
So should I go from 9:55 a.m.?
Maybe
or
not.
Should I do from 10?
Yeah, from 10 o'clock.
So from 10 a.m., someone sent a message and says, "Good morning, Andre. There is NELP, but the thing is people don't know about it, and also when they do know, they are not interested in learning a trade. Young boys are also interested." Okay, so the 10 one would be, "Andre, you know very well that you just cannot cut somebody pay without having a discussion with them. There might be some backstory both parties are not saying. Until we know all the facts, we cannot jump to conclusions."
So on the show this morning, people were talking about
10:01.
Yeah, this company that slashed the pay of some of the workers because they're saying that the workers were misrepresenting themselves, saying that they are qualified to do this, that, and the other. So they're given a certain amount of money, certain pay. But when the company realized now that the guys were, well, that's what they say.
Well, you can't do that. It's illegal.
What's illegal?
To just cut someone's pay. No, you can't do that. They need to go to the labor department and sort it out. Moving on to the next individual. Someone says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family. A blessed and peaceful week to all. Welcome back, Keena." Thank you so much, Josie-Ann. Good morning. Mwah. Joanna B, she says, 1 second.
Joanna Boudou.
She says, "Blessings, Rev-Up family, Tony, Andre, and by dearest Kiki. Mwah. Hope that everyone had a great weekend. This week will be better than last week. Let us all anticipate great things. Be blessed, everyone. Remain safe out there. Always observe your surroundings." Joanna B. Thank you, Joanna Badu. Good morning. Someone else chimed in and says, "Good morning, Rev-Up and crew. Good morning, family. A special welcome to our Kiki. So happy you're much better, dear. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys." Thank you oh so much. Kisses right back. Someone else chimed in and says, "Good morning, guys. Blessed Monday. Welcome back, Keena, Andre, and Tony. Have a blessed day today." Today, Virginia actually chimed in. She says, "Good morning, Keena, Andre, and Tony. It's so nice to hear Keena back on air. You were truly missed. Means a lot to know that checking in is welcomed. I was worried that doing it too often might be a bother. So thank you. It's really appreciated having your voice back with Andre and Tony. Makes the show feel whole again. You all bring such great energy. Keep shining." Yes, she also checked in on me as well. Virginia did. So thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah. Tony, just a second. Arthur shared some other names that were synonymous with Lenny Stone. Patsy Cadet.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
You know Patsy Cadet?
yes.
Oh, okay. All
She
right.
can bake too. She's a really good baker.
That's true.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that
Yeah.
one. He mentioned Cave Compton.
Mm-hmm.
Cave Compton is another one.
Mm.
And remember
thank you so
Hugo
much,
Smith?
Arthur.
Also known as Smitty?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Smitty,
I don't know.
He passed, right? He passed,
Yes,
right?
Smitty died,
Oh.
yes.
Yep. All right.
Oh, before
Sorry.
we continue, Andre, an individual, one of our favorite listeners, she actually said that if the movie that you all spoke of last week,
Which-
I
Guns,
think it's with
fistful of guns.
Dollars.
Like a
she-
fistful of dollars, right?
dollars. She's gonna, if you would love, she would get you the DVD.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's listening right now. So just say yes or no.
Yes, of course. How you mean?
A DVD?
Yeah,
The
well, I'll work it
CD
out.
on,
I'll work
on,
it out.
on thingy.
You'll work it
whichever
out
one.
somehow.
I'll work it out.
Whatever
I'll work it
way,
out.
she'll get it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went on YouTube to try and get it, and imagine it actually said, I don't know why YouTube
She's
does
gonna
that.
buy it for you on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know why YouTube does that. They give you the impression that that's the movie you're going to be
That's
watching. I say,
right.
aha, I good to go.
That's
I see, sorry,
YouTube,
a completely different movie.
that's
I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
It's Gemma, Joanna, saying that she's going to get it for you. So
Okay.
she'll be here soon, so she will give it to you.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah. That's
Okay,
it. When I get it, I'll work it out.
Yeah. So we got another individual chiming in, and that individual said, okay, good morning, Andre, Keena, and Tony. Welcome back, Keena. Have a good day from Tekla L.
All right. Good morning, Tekla.
Someone else chimed in, says, I got the movie A Fistful of Dollars.
There you go.
That's with who? Clint Eastwood?
I think it's Clint Eastwood.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Clint Eastwood, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know. Someone else chimed in and says, good morning to Tio once again, the trio once again. APTP and beautiful Keena, happy to have you back, my dear. Keep it up, folks. Greetings to my dear friends from Choiseul. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Miss Mary Alexander of Bellevue and Miss Linda Jabatis of Reunion. More love from Tekla Auger of Ye4. Thank you, Tekla. Kisses. Mwah. Someone else chimed in. They sent a voice note. We can't play it, but the individual also says, no Android guide, no pass. Not sure what that means. Someone else chimed in as well. At 10:35 a.m. up to Saturday afternoon, my daughter was singing and Lenny told me she has a beautiful voice. Oh, wow. Thanks for that. Someone else chimed in and says, big of the person you're talking about is Paulinus, the Calypsonian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone else chimed in as well, says, good morning. Let's not forget Ika father to have made it to Calypso finals twice. Paulinus, one of his big tunes was Western Take Over We Country.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
That's right. Much appreciated.
Someone else chimed in, says, good day, TP, Andrea, and Kiki. Welcome back. You were dearly missed. Have a great, wonderful day and productive week. Blessings to all listeners. Person sends kisses. Mwah, right back to at you as well. Thanks for taking my call. Thanks for accepting my call, rather. He says, Tony, you have any idea why Heckmeyer is on the West Indies team?
Maybe because he did well in the EPL, which is the India Premier League IPL, and coming out of form, meaning coming out of there with some good form. Hey, they put you on the West Indies team. So I get a feeling that, because I did hear some other comments saying that he really should not be on that West Indies team. He has put on some pounds and so on as well.
Where
so
is he from?
Basically he's Guyana.
Oh, okay.
He seemed to be out of shape and sometimes very inconsistent in terms of his batting and so on.
Maybe he just needs to, a bit more practice.
Probably,
Maybe
and be more consistent.
Be more consistent.
When that boy is going, he can hit that ball, let me tell you.
Okay. He also went on to say, welcome back to our beautiful Kiki. Thank you so much, Mr. Sylvester. Kisses. Someone sent Tribute to Scrub by Lenny Stone. They sent a video compilation of a YouTube song. So thank you so much for sharing that. Luther Henry chimed in. He says he also did some work, played with us in the band Sugarcane, and
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Luther. I think John Quinlan chimed in as well. You've already read it. Should I go ahead and...
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He said Chester Hinkson also did Poinsettia Blossoms. Emile Ford and Patsy Cadet had a duet. They practiced at Bishop's Gap with NDs.
And these was a band as well. Yeah.
Okay. Someone sent a voice note. I can't play it, sorry. Someone else. Our listeners are really chiming in and sending Lenny songs. Merry Christmas from, Emerson Nurse. Someone sent that, and someone also says, we must blame the copyright laws for keeping our local artists out of the limelight. And they sent some, YouTube links for us as well.
I'm glad the person mentioned Emerson Nurse, Tony.
Emerson Nurse.
Yeah, he's another great musician.
Right.
Yes.
Someone chimed in, said, I'm Haggai Morris from Choiseul. Just made, okay, so that's for you, Tony. The person says, I'm Haggai Morris from Choiseul. Just made my first SOCA, but it didn't qualify for the competition this year. Can you help me do the process right so my song can be aired the right way? Please send me your email address, or we'll get back in touch with you, Mr. Haggai. And the individual says, I listen to Rev-Up every Monday and Wednesday, and I think they shared their songs with us.
Okay.
So I guess we'll check that out later. Someone else says, A Fistful of Dollars, movie in HD. So that's for you, Andre. I guess you should check it out a bit later. And our final comment for this morning, individual says, good morning to the Paul brothers, especially Tony. Not forgetting Keena. Welcome back, my dear. Tony, I would like to send birthday greetings to my lovely niece, Uranda Thomas, aka Ran of Monsieur, who is celebrating her birthday today. These greetings are coming from the entire Lerandi family in Martinique, especially Auntie Dora, main buddy. Thanks a million, Tony, Andre, and Keena.
Who's celebrating? Who's the person celebrating the birthday?
Uranda Thomas, aka Ran.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Uranda.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Uranda. Happy birthday to you.
That's
this
it?
is your day. Mwah. I tried.
That's it? That's all the request?
Yes, that's all the requests.
All right. While we're at it, Andre, Terry Fenelon celebrates his birthday today.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
happy
right.
birthday, Terry.
Hey, happy birthday,
Happy
my partner.
birthday. Sorry,
Yeah,
I can't
man.
sing again. Should I try? Happy birthday to you. Sing along, guys.
This is your day.
This is your day. Oh,
Mhm. Happy birthday to you. To you.
We tried, Terry. Happy birthday. Mwah.
All right. Well, on the WhatsApp WhatsApp platform, Lord. On the Facebook page, there are just like so many who are checking in. So let's try to see how we can do it as quickly as possible. Pia Snappy, yeah, man. Good morning to you. Dakota McGuire, Cleveland Seeley, good morning as well. She was at the tents as well.
All right.
Saw her there over the weekend. Elvin J. Team Workers, good morning. The eyes have it as always. The eyes have it. He says, welcome back, Keena. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
Peacemaker says, good morning, my Rev-Up family. Welcome back, Keena. To God be the glory, my brothers
most
and
definitely.
sweet Keena. Melanie Destang says, pleasant Monday morning to everyone. Keena, good to have you back.
Thank you.
Pia Snappy, yeah, man. Welcome back, Kay.
Thanks, Bias.
And Sharon
Bias
Peter.
is so funny.
Pia's funny, yeah, man, instead of snappy.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon Peter says, good morning. We meet again on Monday. Good morning to Rev-Up. And she says, of course, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Nancy Graceland, good morning, my favorite people. Tony, yes, you're glowing. I thought it was because you weren't drinking anymore. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, Nancy.
Nancy.
All right. Peacemaker says, good morning to all who are watching and listening to our favorite boys and girls show. One love. That is
thanks so much.
Peacemaker. All right. Cheryl Prince, P-R-I-N-C-E, Cheryl Prince Thomas. Miss that laugh. Good morning. Blessings
Good morning,
to all.
Prince.
All right. Lilia Victor says, good morning, everyone. Hi, Lilia.
Hi,
good morning to
Lilia.
you. Lucita Jean-Pierre says, good morning, Andre, Tony, and beautiful Keena. Nice. You're back.
Good
Motivation
morning.
Monday to all. Lucita went further to say, good morning, everyone, on the live and Radio Garden. Share the link. Thank you, Lucita. It's much appreciated. Siobhan Matthews says, Kiki, paying free, right? Kiki paying free.
Most definitely. Hey.
Yes, indeed. Jan Blas Warner, good morning, everyone. Welcome back,
Good
Kiki.
morning, Jan.
We love you. Andre and Tony,
Love
do have
you
a
too.
great day. All right, Peacemaker, good morning, my love, Lucita Jean-Pierre. How are you, sis? Hopefully, all is well. Barbara Xavier says, a pleasant good morning to all of you. Have a great day. Blessed love. Welcome, Keena.
Thanks.
Love to see you lovely. Joan Shallery says, good morning, Andre and Tony and Keena. So nice
Morning.
seeing you back, and lots of kisses to you.
Kisses right back.
Sophia Chandler says, good morning to you guys. Bless up. Thank you, Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Patricia Benjamin says, rev up my family, APTP and Keena. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Gibson Charles Grapeson, good morning. He says, my brothers and Kiki. Welcome back, Kiki. And that you are much better. Tony,
Thank you.
that's why most times I prefer to call you every day instead and make it short. He called me, Andre, every day that I was out.
Oh,
Gibson called.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Andre,
All right.
every day.
that's nice.
Until I told him, yeah, Grip, I'm fine. Then the call stopped. That was so beautiful of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
man. You know what I mean?
thoughtful.
I
Yeah.
really appreciated it. All right. So Lucita Jean-Pierre says, Andre, you're back to that release stress bar again? You will have to go park in the garage to avoid stress.
Lucida, life goes on.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
It's you saying that now until you get there, right?
No,
Let's see
but
what
it's
happens.
true, it's
I
true.
can't
Life-
wait
life
to hear
goes
what
on.
happens on Monday.
All right. Lucita says, good morning, my friend. Motivation Monday to all. Then Jan Blast-Warner came and said, Andre, I'll ensure you get a perfect parking. I shall park and wait until you get there, and I'll give you my space.
Hey, we papa.
That is special.
Off the road, right?
I do suppose. Lucina says, Jerome is a character by himself. I am? Really? Okay, I thought I was just cool and easy as the wind blows.
You think?
I thought. All right, Peacemaker says, Tony, I don't know what you mean, and I am not even sure what you mean by what I mean. So maybe something that we were talking about. I wonder if it's I don't know, what point I made, what statement I made. I really don't remember. All right. So Peacemaker says, Keena, that hot stuff is back. Meaning you, of course. Bravo, Keena. We're happy you.
Hot
thanks.
stuff.
Yes, we're happy you're back, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you. Peacemaker is a girl.
It is a girl.
Or like a guy.
Yeah. Septima Joseph says, good morning, welcome back, Keena.
Thank you.
Peacemaker says, Andre, I always had a crush on you.
Ooh.
In my
Check
younger
him blush.
Yeah,
Boy.
in my younger days. But there's a little more to come.
Do it again.
So there's a little more. So back then, watching you, the radio station and all that, and hey, don't get me wrong.
Watch his facial expression right now.
Well, this
Go
part here,
ahead.
don't get me wrong. You're still looking good.
Aww. Take that blush.
All right. So Pius Snappy Yemen says Paulinus. Of
Uh-huh.
course.
Yeah.
Paula Alfred says Paulinus was Lenny's brother. Barbara Augustine, welcome back. Kiki, my
Thank
favorite
you.
brothers, good morning. Always a pleasure listening to Rev-Up. Thank you so much, Barbara Augustine. Peacemaker says, Keena,
Yeah.
you've never been on the Cunard?
No.
I haven't either. Andre, have you?
No.
And you're older than I am. Can you imagine?
You know what I'm saying?
But Tony, what
Have
about
you,
Tony?
Peacemaker?
What about the federal maple?
The federal maple and all of that. I do
That's
understand.
way back.
That's right.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Back in time.
I think Tony, did you come home in the federal maple? One of them?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a kid from Antigua.
Antigua, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Came on the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Boat used to run things back in the day, apparently.
If you really want to do up the plane, yeah, you just take a boat. You come. Yeah, man.
Okay.
So I think I came on the boat.
take you a week before you get there.
Remember when you all came to pick me up?
Of course, I remember. I remember the day clearly. Yeah.
What?
It's amazing that you remember so much from your childhood, though.
He always surprised me.
Yeah. I remember
your
the day
memories,
clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when Tony came off the federal maple or whatever he came, man, dead serious.
I wonder
dead
why.
dead serious.
Maybe he pissed off I left Antigua.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think
How
so.
long
was
did
upset.
it take to get here?
Dead serious,
I wouldn't
man.
know that. I wouldn't, maybe a few days. I don't know.
wow.
A few days, a week or something. I don't know. You know what I
But
mean?
it was a good thing, Tony. It was a good thing. You know that we all were brought together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Andre, most definitely.
Yes.
I guess my mom, our biological mother, as you always call her, in her wisdom thought, bring all of them. And she had 4 of us. She brought all of us to that same house. But then she figured, boy, she'll take one back. so she took her last child. She took her with her to St. Croix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, what's even greater is the fact that our grandmother accepted us and our grandfather as well.
That's true.
And he was like a step-grandfather.
That's right.
So that was deep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it
That was deep for him to have accepted it.
Definitely.
And yeah.
So he was your stepfather,
step-grandfather.
step-grandfather.
And he took on the role of father, Tony.
He did.
It's just that he
Right.
just didn't know how to do it properly.
That's the thing.
But he
Andre.
took on the role
Yeah, because
by disciplining us.
No,
Right.
but even parenting, you just don't know. You learn as you go along. And for some individuals, they just still don't know.
Well, you see that they come and practice on us.
that's I like that.
You practice, you pass
practice
on
on
that information that you've learned to your children, and they pass it on. And still, even after passing it on, they too have their own experiences with their children,
Yeah.
learning something different.
Because you know, there's some stepfathers who will, be in an environment, a household setting, and wouldn't take on the children.
Yes.
It's true.
They say nothing to them.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's one extreme, and you have the other extreme, like Papa.
Right.
Where
And let me add a little something to that. You know, that in terms of grandmothers and so on, do really well with the grandchildren. Sometimes it's like you didn't get it so right the first time. So you learn. Again, it's a learning thing, raising children and so on. So you didn't get it right the first time. So you get it a lot better.
I'm happy that you said that, because a lot of grandparents, some of them, their children be like, oh, mama used to beat me a whole lot. And look at now, she's totally different with my own children.
That's true.
So it's very much different when you have children of your own and have to see your mom now protecting.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're very protective of their grandchildren, I'll tell you that.
Right. That's right. Yeah, man. All right, so move along with the shout-outs. All right, we have roughly 3 minutes to do so let me try to run through them. Every time I go home, I'm saying to myself, why they have a bar there? Very dangerous, and they're always speeding in that area.
What they need is a speed bump. That's what they need.
Okay. Makes sense.
Makes sense too.
All right, Peacemaker. Well, that was their wedding. God created us for a purpose. I guess you're talking about the accident with the woman and then the guy following and an accident as well.
What is it? What is it saying?
That was their wedding.
Their wedding?
Yes. God created us for a purpose, but we have no idea what the purpose is. It has nothing to do with the rush. Or maybe that's what the person will say they don't understand. When I say it's that adrenaline rush, so it has nothing to do with the rush. It's the purpose of when and how He calls us home. We have no idea when, where, and what, and how. No one is, let me see, it continues there. No one is never at the wrong place at the wrong time. Everything in our life is already written. So let it be written. So let it be done. I spoke about an adrenaline rush. Andrew, the guys on the motorcycles and so on who speed, it's just a vibe. If you want me to say a vibe, then you get a rush when you speed. It just maybe for them it feels good. You know what I mean?
The need for speed.
The need for speed. I drive fast at times, but not crazy fast. I want to have control at a certain speed. Once I realize you're going too fast because you kind of not in control of it, I slow down.
No, but even when you're going fast, you're never totally in control of the vehicle, of that machine when something goes wrong.
True.
Right.
Because you're already speeding.
And also, to me, you're supposed to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
If you're speeding, how could you enjoy the ride?
I'm not sure we should ask them.
Yeah. All right, Cynthia Hines says, hi, Cynthia, good morning. Was it a gun like Mr. Lionel owned? You remember Lio?
Yeah, right.
We never saw Lio own, Cynthia? Yeah, man.
It was Lio who had a parrot, no?
No,
he didn't have a parrot, no?
No.
To me, it was something he had in his vehicle.
Oh, Lio in his vehicle?
You remember
like a live parrot?
I remember what it was. He used to be driving. Remember, he used to drive this like a kind of like van, not a van. Remember, he had this vehicle he used to drive. Oh my God, there was something about the vehicle. Anyway, I don't remember now.
Okay.
I don't remember.
We all knew Lio had a gun, but I tell you, that's one of the only guys in La Clary that we knew had a gun. You know what I mean?
Okay. Was he the one who used to wear the
Lee Mem.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He's around his neck, like a scarf kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's right. He was like a cowboy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, man. All right. Peacemaker says, how many bullets did your father gun have, Andre and Tony? Just asking, LOL.
Maybe a couple.
I remember seeing the bullets. I actually remember seeing the bullets. Long bullets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good thing nothing happened to you guys.
That's true.
Yeah.
I tell you,
because y'all were
true.
really looking for trouble there.
What? All right, Rampy Vesta Jose. My children were always told about the use and of the dangers of handling my gun. They did well understand the concept.
Well, thank you so much,
interesting.
Rampy
Vesta Jose.
Yeah.
All right, Pearl Food Baby Henry. Good morning from Dominica to my Rev-Up St. Lucia family and all in the chat room. Pearl Food Baby, thank you so much. You're in Dominica.
Pearl.
All right, Arthur Jean says, I will expose those politicians the day they really try to victimize me.
It's how you're ready, Tony.
Okay. So Lucita says some people in St. Lucia are afraid to talk because they're afraid somebody will take them on. Poor job, St. Lucians. All right. Arthur Jean says they all see outspoken
They are.
Okay, they are seen outspoken, yet the day SLP target me, they will see me like they never seen me before.
I thought you were going to say like Incredible Hulk, but
you know, and hear what he's saying now. Andre, you on a warp path this morning? I wonder how is Andre? Is you?
Andre take me on to it,
yeah, but it's not only the Labour Party. This happens across the board. Across the board.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, God knows how, when, where, why to do his work. Well blessed, love your neighbor, your enemy. Do good to those who don't like you. God is watching.
Oh, yeah.
That's Peacemaker. Arthur Jean says, they do, Andre. We give you a job and they become like a master to us. That must stop. We're putting them out every 5 years. Lucita says, Mama, Andre, gloves off. Say, sa, Andre, it's Calypso season. Gloves off, whatever. Arthur Jean, the truckers are right. Arthur Jean also says, show the government in mess. Shows the government is a mess. You see y'all in the politics thing again.
Can't even deal with small issues.
Right. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Amen, Tony. Without the voters, the people, the politicians wouldn't be in government or power, period. They have to respect us. I find the company is rude and out of place. Who else? Today is the birthday of Daryl Montrop. Also, it's the wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Luke and Unita Innocent.
Hey,
okay.
Luke and his wife.
Okay.
Hey, happy
anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
They've been together
to Mr.
for eons.
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah, that's right.
So congratulations.
And I haven't seen Luke in a while. I used to see him pretty often. I haven't seen Luke in a while.
I think he's okay. I think he's okay.
Okay. All right. That was from Arthur Charles, by the way. You know, he always knows these things. And Luther Alce says, it's very comforting listening to Rev-Up on mornings. Great job, lady and gentlemen. And Cynthia ends by saying, yes, he had the parrot on his shoulder.
You see?
Okay.
I remember a
Thank you,
parrot.
Cynthia.
I remember a parrot.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Thank you. Hey, wow. Hey, boy, thank you so much. I remember he used to have this thing for true.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I remember the pilot who had a monkey.
That's the one I was thinking when you said about the parrot.
What is his name? I don't remember his name.
Just so the man ended up being a bus driver and all that. One of the first.
Yes, exactly. Mr. Gasper.
That's
yeah,
right.
he had a monkey, and listen, the school kids would go and gather by the man's house almost every afternoon just to watch that monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
and I like we do some wickedness.
Yeah, some wickedness. Yeah. Now you know
children.
You know Yes. Kieran.
Yeah.
Kieran told me one time, I think he took a piece of stick or something and he juked the thing's backside or something like that.
And he said,
and he said one day the thing attacked him.
That's right.
My only experience with a monkey was in Trinidad. I went to visit my dad, and that I gave the monkey a banana, like whatever. The monkey ate it, and then took the banana peel, wiped its bum, threw it back at me. Let me tell you, I was like, huh? I was a little like,
That's
little
funny.
thing.
That's funny.
That's very funny, Andre.
So he took the banana peel.
Literally wiped its bum and threw it back at me. I'm like, what?
Wow. Now, you know, when I went to see Hassani in Barbados, okay, the last time, apparently there's this family of monkeys, and they go by Hassani's residence every afternoon at a certain time. So I remember Hassani said to me, look out for them, they're coming just now, they're coming just now. And true to form, I have the video. I actually have the video on my phone.
Okay.
The things actually passed by. You see, what I think is the mother, father, and the kids behind. Yeah, and they were on time. They were on time. I don't know where they're heading to.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just so cool. Monkeys.
The thing about Barbados too, monkeys just walking around, just like there's a hotel that just kind of.
Have you seen a tortoise in St. Lucia?
No.
Yeah.
In the BVI I have.
And I grew up seeing tortoises in St. Lucia.
Oh really?
Yes, I saw at least 2 of them. Yeah, in my day.
Where is
the
that?
tortoise?
Where?
Down south, probably Labrie area there, somewhere around there.
I haven't.
Yeah, the tortoise. That doesn't exist anymore. Guys now will destroy that.
Oh, yeah.
So forget
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
tortoise is the one that lives on land.
Yeah.
The turtle now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something. Mostly in the sea until they're ready to come and lay eggs. Imagine.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
God
Wow,
created
wow.
just amazing creatures.
Right.
And you know the tortoise can live, I think, up to about 250 years.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
what-
that.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's long.
So there's one now that's 191 years old.
I want to go to 191 week.
Good luck.
Just quickly, Wested Wet says, hey, being a little late. Wested, their minds like humans. We talk about
Oh yeah,
it's-
the monkey. Yeah,
Right.
most likely.
yes, and somebody says, you're cracking me up, boy, Keena. With your monkey.
Yeah, that's a funny one. That's a
Yeah,
real funny
I
one.
never looked at monkeys the same after that. No.
They're kind of rude creatures, you know.
They can be,
They're
yeah,
kind of rude
yeah,
creatures.
yeah.
That's why we used to trouble Mr. Gasper Monkey so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Kieran said it attacked him, you know.
If it attacked him,
It
I think
didn't
it bit
It bit him, yeah.
It bit
It never
somebody.
forgot that he was teasing it.
That's right.
Although
That's right.
recently in St. Kitts I had a monkey on my shoulder, but I was always thinking it's gonna do me something bad. It was a baby one. Yeah.
So you were nice enough to feed the monkey.
Yeah, the monkey said, you know what? Here's your rubbish. I'm done with it. Take it back. I've eaten what's there to be eaten. I don't need that thing.
So it's real. They like bananas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of their favorites, I
Yeah,
think.
they like bananas. And to see me, I could have eaten my banana, you know. I could have, taken my time with my mother. Open my thing.
Let's forget, if we forgot, we have DBS.
Oh, yeah.
DBS has to go and do the show.
That's right. That's
So
right.
DBS, thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
So long to you all on
Thank you,
DBS,
thank you,
and
thank
so
you.
long to those of
Linda,
you
the staff,
on
Juanita,
Facebook.
everyone else.
on YouTube and also on X. Alrighty?
Thank you.
Beautiful. So, Keena, what do you have coming up on the show today?
We're going to find out which Caribbean country just made history launching the region's first ever electronic authorization. What scientists are doing now, imagine now we could, our pets can communicate with us using AI. So we're going to find out what, that monkey was really thinking. Could iPhone soon control our minds? That's something else I'm going to touch on as well. And not forgetting safe streets, strong communities. And today we're tackling one of the toughest challenges facing our island, which is drug and alcohol abuse, as well as the riddle of the day, the one-hit wonder, the hit of the day, and not forgetting the Rev-Up St. Lucia news with Andre Paul at 1 p.m.
So Keena is going to be with you until 3 this afternoon, as always. Zen the DJ from 3 until 6. And then, of course, Tony will be here with Rev Up, the homegrown. Do you plan to play any of the 10th music, Tony?
No. The honest and direct answer to that is no. I did not plan to play anything from the 10th. Because
I guess maybe you press for time.
Yeah.
And the songs
sure,
tend to
for
be a little
sure.
lengthy.
That's the
Some of them are
seven-
lengthy.
seven
7
minutes,
minutes,
I think.
6 minutes, they're
Yeah.
very lengthy.
Trish has a very interesting song.
That's right. That bad boy.
Bad.
What? Comfort for bull?
Comfort.
Too comfort for
Comfort for boo. I'd love to hear it.
That bad word. Can I do you hear that?
I'd love to hear
What? Oh yeah, bull for comfort.
Yes, Trish.
And I was also told
have to-
our
you have
reigning
to bull
Carnival
for
queen,
comfort.
actually, she put her heart into the Calypso ring as well.
Really?
Yeah. VA4, I think. I'm not quite sure.
What?
South.
Oh,
Now, he has
Yeah.
another song, another song called No Forks to Give.
I have not played that
No
one.
what to
no
give?
forks to give.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check that out. It's
I'll-
funny.
I'll have
It's
to listen.
funny. It's a
I'll
play
have
on
to
words.
listen.
Very powerful. She gives
I
she
love
gives
to
a
listen.
story. She went to a restaurant, and the service was not so good.
Okay. I'm hoping that they have those two tents that I missed this weekend, so I could probably check them out.
Well, not as yet.
So you are 10 Pinez?
Nah, man.
Not really?
Speaking of which, Twatine was in fine form with KPT. Oh, Twatine was Twatine was really good, man.
Oh,
He was
okay.
like the sole tent Pinez that really had fun that night.
All right. Okay, so that's what's happening on Rev Up for today, and we're also getting set for our Father's Day promotion.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. We
Oh,
should
yeah.
be starting on Tuesday, I think the 10th. The reason for that is because Monday, the 9th is a holiday. All right, so
that's next week Monday.
Next week Monday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have some fantastic prizes. I'll be giving you some more information this week as to exactly what's up for grabs.
So next week Monday is a holiday?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be in fine form on the weekend.
Yeah, I think it's with Monday.
You
It's
had better.
With Monday.
Oh,
Oh, with Monday
Yeah.
already. Wow.
that weekend will be good.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tony. Thank you,
Yes,
Keena.
Keena. Mhm.
Yeah.
And have fun,
Oh,
all right?
thank you.
So it's
I
good to
will.
have you back.
Thank
I
you.
was actually shocked when you came in this morning, but
You still
great
look
to
shocked.
Yeah, great to have you back. Great to
Unlike
have you back.
Tony.
Alrighty. So long, everyone.
DJ Stormy, representing for Extra Events and Entertainment, presents something special and classy. Neon blue and white ladies' night gala. All going down Saturday, June 7th.